I just can't take no pleasure in killing nothing. Just some things you gotta do. Don't mean you have to like.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
You want to know what happens to an eyeball when it gets punctured? You got any idea how much blood jets out of a guy's neck when his throat's been slit?
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
What's up, everyone? DJ Anubis here with you on Meltdown Radio Podcast with my ghoul brother from the ghoul mother, Mr. Tony the Dead. We are the Ghouls of Midnight. This is episode 64. We are reviewing Driving Miss Daisy. No, excuse me. We are reviewing Eating Miss Campbell.
Oh, yes, the Blu-ray and everything.
Dude, I went and bought that shit right away. We have a lot to discuss. But as always, before we get into everything and into detail, let's check out the trailer for Eating Miss Campbell.
Oh, Beth, would you eat me?
My name is Beth Connor, and for the past 17 years, my life has gone straight to video. on-demand streaming channels will pay a handsome 7 figures for an, gee whiz, a school shooting.
This school is enabling school massacres by allowing students to choose between either killing their friends or killing themselves.
Planning on inviting Miss Campbell to the All You Can Eat massacre contest?
No. If you don't have a boner for Miss Campbell, you could always attend to mine.
For lack of a better term, problematic.
Z Kyle!
What is this bullshit?
Well, that's one way to deal with unruly students dressed as former presidents.
Together, we could rid the world of this toxic, self-appointed patriarchy that served nothing to womankind but pain and grief.
And what is more poetic and American than a high school massacre?
Yeah. Eating Miss Campbell, directed by Liam Regan, produced by Liam Regan and Lloyd Kaufman, starring Lyndsey Craine, Lala Barlow, Vito Trigo, Lawrence R. Harvey, Charlie Bond, Emily Haig, Michaela Longden. We've seen her a lot. Also, Annabella Rich and Danny Thompson and Blade Braxton. Basically, it is a British comedy horror film, and basically we have Lyndsey Craine playing Beth Connor, who is basically a goth chick who is fascinated and obsessed with suicide and just leaving this planet in any way she can. I was blown away by this movie. Like when I saw, like I just started watching it on 4th of July. Everyone else was kind of outside just doing their thing. And I was like sitting there. I was like, well, let me see what's going on here. And I found it on there. I remember texting you a little bit about it. One of the first things I thought was kind of funny is even though she's playing Beth Connor, the character that she plays almost plays like a more, I would say, realistic Wednesday Addams. Like we talked about, like I love Jenna Ortega. I thought she did a great job as Wednesday, but this Lyndsey really killed this role a lot for me. I really love this movie. A lot of the acting is great in this. What was your first impressions with this? And did I lose you? Uh-oh. That's not good. I have to see if I can find him.
Well, my first impressions, I didn't really obviously know what kind of movie it was going to be. It just, you know, that Lyndsey was in it. And then when I saw Troma, I was like, oh, okay, I know what I'm getting into. And it really didn't disappoint when it came to the whole Troma experience of the type of movie that it is. But it's definitely not for everybody, let alone not just the eating, but the whole subject matter in here.
Oh yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's like it's very touchy.
A nice, basically a nice satire about like American violence in schools, and it's almost like a more demented version of Heathers in some ways. Like it goes in a much darker spot than that, but it has a great soundtrack. Like I said before, fantastic acting all the way around. Everyone that's in this is fucking great and amazing.
Yeah.
Lyndsey and Lala Barlow shine in their roles. The dialogue and script is very strong. Like I was really impressed. Like this guy, Liam Regan, who's the director, he's only done like one other film outside of this, but he grew up on a lot of the 80s horror and stuff. So it's pretty impressive that he put together this film the way he did, because I was very impressed with the way that it was structured and written up and everything. And then as you said, it's like really crazy and fun. It does, like you said, it does touch on a lot of the taboos and stuff, like, you know, stuff that you're not supposed to do. Like we have teachers being indecent with kids, students, and etc. like that, and of course all the violence and stuff like that. But there's even a great line from Lyndsey's character at the end where she's like, "You know what? Fuck Troma."
Fuck Troma.
Because she starts kind of doing that third person talking, breaking the fourth wall thing. And I wish when I had interviewed her, I'd already seen this because I would have had so many more questions for her. She would have been like, "It's enough questions, bud."
Yeah.
But the cool thing is I did go buy this. And so there's some bonus features, which I'm going to go and watch later because I want to watch some of that shit.
Yeah.
And see how they did some of that. But yeah, just a lot of fun.
Yeah,
but basically, like I said, Beth is, she's obsessed with suicide and death, and what happens is you get these like some of them are like heads of the school from Henletter High. The guy on the right, he's like an American, I don't know, manager or something. I don't know what do we call him, headmaster.
Yeah,
he comes in and he's gonna like kind of change the way the school is in terms of its popularity. Like it dropped because people were dying and kind of boring. So he's going to get to where now we're going to be back on the map. We're going to bring in American violence into the map.
Yeah.
So they basically put together like a contest. What do they call it? The something massacre. All you can eat.
All you can eat. Yeah.
And so the winner will get like a 45 Magnum or something, like the gun that he brought. And so that sort of gets Beth's attention, as far as like, oh, that will help me take myself out real well. Because, you get this thing at the beginning where she's kind of like cutting her arm and bleeding all over the place.
Yeah.
But again, it's a lot of satire. Not everybody's going to find it as funny, but I thought it was hysterical. And
they know they're in a movie. Well, she knows she's in a movie.
Yeah, that's basically what she says.
That's the funny thing about it too. Like, so like when she's like cutting herself and stuff like that, she's like talking to you about it. And it's funny too. It's funny the way she's like goes about it.
Yeah. The thing with this character here, as compared to the other two films I saw, How to Kill Monsters and Book of Monsters, is that this character really gives her a lot more personality. Like she was already great in the other films, but this one gives her a lot of different things she can do.
Yeah.
A lot of versatility with the character. Her sarcasm and mannerisms are so fucking funny. Like I like she's like my new favorite actress right now. She is so goddamn good.
She is really good. She is really good.
I'm surprised too that this film is not talked about more. Like I had never heard of it. Like granted, How to Kill Monsters was still kind of new too, but this was just out in 2022, and like I'm surprised not more people are talking about it. It's so good.
I haven't seen anybody talk about it or like advertise it. Like it's
right.
It's a shame.
It is. Like it's really crazy. So yeah, we have these headmasters, and they're talking about how they're gonna do this all you can eat massacre thing, and of course they introduced the new. I think what is she? Science? What fucking or history? Maybe it's history teacher, Miss Campbell, and we start to learn, like again from the trailer, you can see that she's like, "Would you like to eat me?" Of course, it's all in Lyndsey's head. She's like, "Oh yeah." And part of you is like, does she want to like eat her sexually or like figuratively, or literally? And it's probably a little bit of both.
Yeah.
We do learn that after she has this, what's this dude's name, Ethan Rembrandt. He's the local date rapist of the school, and so he'll like roofie girls and get fuck them or whatever, but he's so admired. Some of these other girls admire him, but
she's supposed to be next in line for his knock on his bedpost.
So like they're in the classroom, of course, and he's all talking about like, yeah, I see you got a boner for Miss Campbell, but how about you address my boner? And at some point he sticks his finger in front of her, and you and I were like kind of laughing at this. Like she's just enjoying this whole like blood spray thing. She bit his finger off.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all done like I like even after it's done, like the parents in their office and the director's office. Oh, it's the wrong one. But they go in there, and that's her parents there, the stepmother and the father, because her real mom died, and she's got blood on her. She's trying to explain, but the head guy, I forget his name. Is it Reams?
Oh, I got out of my IMDb. Damn it.
Okay, yeah. Let me see if I can. Oh, Mr. Sawyer. He's the one that came from America, so he's the one that's kind of running the show at the moment. So he's like ready to boot her out. Like he's like, this is ridiculous. But the parents are like, she's just misunderstood. It wasn't anything super serious. Even though she just bit some dude's finger off. But so then the parents, they're like, well, why don't you invite Ethan over, for dinner? And I kind of love how no one really addresses all the violence that happens. Like even when Sawyer first gets there and he's doing the whole auditorium meeting with the kids, he ends up shooting some dude dressed in a Ronald Reagan mask. It's like, but everyone's like shocked, but then no one really says anything. They're just kind of like, okay, yeah, we're just going to keep moving with the plot. Because it's been normalized.
That's a weird thing in this movie, because people get shot or killed and everybody's shocked about it. But like if you eat somebody's finger or something, nobody really cares or bats an eye. It's like, and that's where I'm like it's hard to not hard to follow, but like you start seeing like what they take is like good and bad.
Right.
It's weird.
But as the plot goes, you start to learn that like nobody's really good in this film at all. Like it's kind of like I want to say almost like Battle Royale. Only the kids have control of what they want to do too.
Yeah.
But it's like like violence is just so normalized, nobody cares when people like end up dead or whatever. It's like because like we said, we have that moment with Campbell and Beth when they're in the diner, and she tells her that she suffers from erotophonophilia, where she just likes death. Yeah. And she ends up killing the waitress. Like she just kills her with the fork right there. And again, nothing happens. No cops, no nothing. It's just okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where their little relationship starts budding out. Because earlier we have Beth had taken Ethan to dinner with his parents, and she ends up killing and eating him, which was kind of funny. But what do you say to when the parents went up to the rooms like, why you got blood on you? And she's like, it's my period.
Oh yeah, I could smell the copper.
It's all over her face and shit. It's like, oh god.
She just like looks at the camera like,
yeah. Well, I like too early when they first went up there when she was still going at it, eating them, and like they're like, you better not be raping them in there. And she's like, rape? Yeah, like this guy's known for that shit. But yeah, that shit was funny. You have the Mean Girls, of course, led by this lady here. I think this is Sabrina or Clarissa. I can't remember which one. I think it's Clarissa.
Clarissa.
So they do some pretty shitty shit too, like in school. They're like this scene, she's cutting up some girl they're picking on. Yeah. And I'm just like, okay, I guess it's all just normalized. You're carving shit into their bodies.
Yeah. And that Clarissa was one because I don't want to keep saying Lyndsey. Beth keeps talking to the camera, and then when she's talking, Clarissa's like enough of that, they get the point. And then it's like she's not the only one that knows it's there, but she's like the only one that really uses it, which is funny too. So all she wants to do is get out of this horror genre and get into a romantic comedy.
Yeah. And obviously, as the film goes on, we start to unravel some mysteries about her past life with her mom. Like the father and the stepmother ended up killing and eating the mother, or at least some of her. And then we find out Miss Campbell's actually involved in some of that. Like she's a part of, like, it's almost like this hidden society that she didn't know about. So they were kind of like setting Beth up to be the next meal.
Yeah.
But I did like this particular scene, which was funny. Again, the soundtrack is awesome in this. From what I understand, Regan is like a metalhead, and so it didn't shock me. Still a bit of quartz paint going on there with Beth sitting down
cool.
there. Then you can see, of course,
Sergeant
Michaela
Kabuki Man.
Wanda. Yeah, you have that, and then Michaela on the left there. She's been in like all the movies that we've seen her in. You know, she plays her parts very well. But yeah, I enjoyed the mask and stuff that the squad had. It was really fun to look at. Very cool. And I did like that the director was bringing back a lot of these horror tropes and stuff that he was throwing in there. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's like shout outs throughout this whole movie. Even her step parents are like Gomez and Morticia. They're like that.
Yeah.
Because even when at the end of that meeting, they were about to kiss, she goes, "No." She said, "No." And even that guy was like, "What the hell is going on here?"
Yeah, so crazy. And then of course, this dude was just creepy as hell. Toulon.
Yeah.
He was Sawyer's right-hand man. And he's all like, when he first starts going into Miss Campbell's classroom, and he's like, "I got a surprise," and she's like, "Okay." And at first, I'm thinking like, "What is this going to be like?" You know? And then he's like in his undies, like just dancing. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, there's no warm up here. He was just like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna do this," like for Miss Campbell. Like, you want this. You want this.
Oh yeah, she's been flirting with him all day. Apparently, it seems. My God.
But yeah, but like between Barlow, who plays Miss Campbell, and then I can't remember is it Nancy? I think it's Nancy Applegate, the really high pitched girl, like that sits there. Like those two were crazy funny.
They have to be like singers or something in like opera or plays, because they.
Well,
like,
I think Barlow, like, dude, I started making fun of Neko because you don't understand. Neko, whenever she wants to like corporal cuddle the cats, like against her will, she'll post them up and she'll go, "It's the circle of life." And when fucking Miss Campbell did that, I stopped it and I said, "Missy, you got to come see this because this reminds me of you."
Yeah.
But yeah, Barlow was fucking amazing. Like just like the little giddy singing that she does. Like I was like, "Oh my God." She goes, "Bang!" And has like a little fake gun.
Yeah. Her and Annabelle Rich. Well, Nancy Applegate. I think she was one of my favorite characters, to be honest. Besides, obviously Beth.
But like, fucking Sieg Heil.
Oh my! And they're like, even they were like, "Come on, that's like going too far,"
That's why you say like this. There's like you have to be able to take this kind of comedy because like they're just pulling everything out of the woodwork. Like they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, it's Troma. You should know what you're going into.
Oh yeah,
they don't give no fucks.
Yeah,
especially even Lloyd Kaufman's little cameo in here. He just puts a rock or gun to his nose and it was like, oh my God, it's crazy. And it's funny too because everybody's going to get people are going to get butthurt over this, but they're making fun of it because violence doesn't affect kids anymore. Doesn't seem like in movies and stuff. You know what I mean? That's the way I kind of took it.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you think about it, we've become desensitized to it all. Like, now, personally, I don't know. I don't really classify myself that way because I've seen real violence, and it is very hard to see and watch.
Yeah.
But part of that's because you kind of know that it's real, whereas with this stuff, you go into a movie, it's fiction. Like, you know, it used to be, that's how like Face of a Death used to try to make their name brand because they're like, this is all real, this isn't like special effects.
Yeah.
And so people would bought into that. And so they would like, some of it might have been real, but not all of it.
Yeah. I think some of it was fake. Yeah. But there was definitely some real shit.
Especially as it kept going on. Like you could just, because after a while, there's no way that the government would have allowed that to happen. Like where they're making money and profit off of like real deaths of people. Like, but I've seen things before in the past. Like I had a video that says banned from TV or something. And you don't see everything, but like I do remember like it was like these railroad tracks for subway trains or something.
Yeah.
And people were cross one that's parked, but there's like two more. And then this lady doesn't really look. She keeps running, and this other one speeds by and just nails her.
Wow.
But you don't really see what happened because she gets knocked past the camera. Like she just gets hit and knocked past. But she's done. Like,
done for. Yeah.
Yeah. So some things could be real, but like, after a while, I think they just said, we're not allowing this shit to be sold in stores and shit. We're just not dealing with this.
Well, they brought him back out now.
Right. But I think they've also mentioned that a lot of it was fake too. So it's been exposed. It'd been exposed.
True.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think this movie is kind of like I said, it's a satirical approach to what goes on in our society. And they're just kind of playing off of it. And especially for Britain, because I kind of had to remember that this is like taking place in the UK, that they don't have guns there. Like, so whenever you introduce one, that's like a big deal. So like, that's kind of like why Beth gets really excited. She's like, oh, a gun.
Yeah, true.
I even like the moment when, go ahead.
No, I almost forgot she had an accent until I saw the movie. Well, I remember your interview, but then in the movie, I was like, oh, that's right. I don't know why I forgot it. I either forgot or thought it was fake. I don't know. I don't know. I watch too much shit. Everything is like this, in my head, like a cyclone.
And I'm assuming too, because when they did the All You Can Eat Massacre, they got this boxing promoter called the Midnight Rose. I don't know if he's legit or not. I know it's played by Blade Braxton, but first thing I kept thinking was he's getting that dude from the old horror films, the Santino dude. Do you remember those movies? They have like a bunch of Santino versus whoever.
Yeah.
So at first I thought that's kind of like what Regan was going for. I thought maybe he still was, just in terms of the visual, but
yeah,
I have no idea if that's a real dude or not, but that was kind of funny.
I don't know. I honestly thought that was the guy with the beard, but I don't think it is. Because the way he falls over the stage and then that guy gets back up. I thought, is that him?
Vito Trigo plays Sawyer. That's the guy that we get from America. But according to this, the Midnight Rose is Blade Braxton, some other dude. So
oh no, I know it's somebody else, but the way they did that, I thought he was the one playing that part. The way oh hey, I don't know, but I don't know if I've looked at a couple of the people in here, and like obviously they've been in Troma movies, and it's funny too because you could tell when somebody in a movie is, I like to say, Troma-esque, and Sawyer is 100. The whole all the teachers are so Troma-esque in this movie. They're like so far out there, over exaggerating, making the face, like especially that the singing, like. I loved it when they did the singing, to be honest, like where she's like, a whole little massacre, like that. I was like, oh, it's so funny. And I thought, are they going to break into a song? Because then you got everything in this movie, but we didn't. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
So well put together, like I was so surprised by this.
Yeah, and it's
your
funny.
final thoughts.
Thoughts and ratings. I will say I did enjoy it. I did laugh a lot. It grossed me the fuck out. I think if they cooked the people they were eating, it wouldn't have been as bad for me. But like seeing them dip a donut in blood and then eat it grosses. It's like, because I'm thinking that's so warm and yuck. Ugh.
What I thought was funny too is like, because originally towards the end, the All You Can Eat Massacre looked like it was like baked goods. It looked like Campbell actually laced it with like toxic poison or something. So I guess the idea was to kill the people eating it, which was the three main mean girls, and then Beth joined later. She was going to jump in because she was so pissed off about everything that was going on.
Yeah.
But then of course Beth kills Miss Campbell and then cuts her up and puts her as the food that's being fed. So she knew she was going to win because she doesn't mind eating flesh, whereas the three mean girls are like, but again, it was so funny because rather than the girls saying, I'm not eating this, like they're like, what are we eating? She's like, Miss Campbell. And they're just like, Okay.
Yeah.
But then they start puking on the main girl because they can't handle it.
Yep. And she's just chowing down.
Yeah, she's like,
That's
It's
that's
just-
the other thing. The noises, and ugh. And knowing what they're eating, I don't know. Some stuff does gross me out. I'm not a huge cannibal watching movie guy. It just I don't know, because it's not cooked, and I just think that's great. I bit my arm, or something. It's like yuck. You know, I don't know.
So you'd be okay if they just cooked it like ribs. You'd be okay with that.
Yeah. Hell, for all I know, I ate human before. I don't know. If I found out, I would stop. But
sure, he would. He'd be like,
hey,
I'm
you don't
addicted
know
to
what
those
this world's
ribs.
going to turn into, man. At the end of the world, I might be eating the cat.
I got a good eye for prime meat.
Yeah. Now, I liked it. Like I said, it was gross. It was all over the place, like a Troma movie is. Lyndsey was an excellent actress or actor. I don't know. Sometimes they say actor. But I enjoyed the whole cast. That they were great, over the top. I didn't know where the movie was going to go. The ending, obviously, making a sequel, or they made a sequel. Like, there's, we're not going to say the whole ending,
very
but
weird ending.
yeah, but yeah, it wasn't bad.
Apparently,
enjoyed
though, and I don't know how much truth this is, but the Bloody Banjo that Regan made before, this is supposed to be a sequel to that, but I don't know how it connects. I don't really know. So you could be right. It could be like a third installment at some point.
You'll have to interview her again
and drag her back out.
Yeah,
Lyndsey, I
hey.
need like another hour of your time because we got to go over some things. Yeah.
I would probably say I'd give this 7.5 out of 10. I liked it, but like I said, it grossed me out, man. But it's my kind of humor, though. I liked it. It didn't step away from where, it didn't like shy away from what it knows what it was. And I always do like third person or fourth wall.
Well, it's like
I like when
breaking
they
the
break
fourth
it.
wall, yeah.
I always kind of like that, ever since back to Zach Morris days. I always like that shit. But yeah, well, everything was done very well in this. Like, I don't think it felt like a low budget, but it kind of did. But it had like a higher budget, it seems like. I don't know.
Yeah,
that sounds weird when I say that.
No,
but,
it's true because you think of Troma and like they are independent films, and I've seen many Troma films that are like, look at their films, are like budgets are way less than this. It seems like they really, like I don't know if they crowdfunded for this or not. I mean, if it's Troma involved, I don't think so. But Liam knocked it out of the park. Like I thought he did a great job with this film. Like just it's attention to detail with the script and the dialogue, like that was really impressive. Like all the comedic moments hit on the marks. Like sometimes they do stuff that doesn't really hit, but this hits on everything. Like it's just so funny. And like you said, the girls like Barlow and the girl that plays Nancy, like the singing and it's like it's not really singing, it's just singing while they're narrating whatever they're saying. So it's not really full singing. It's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for me, I really loved this film. I was so blown away by it. Like if I had seen this in 2022, it would have made my top 10 list that year. And with that said, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. I fucking love this film.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say that.
Knew it. Yeah, this film was great.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, just because I gave it a 7.5 doesn't mean it's like bad or anything. There's just some things that
I mean,
don't
when
appeal to
you
me.
and I talked and did the How to Kill Monsters, like I think I gave it like a 7 or 8, and you gave it a higher score. So you actually liked it a little more than me on that one.
True.
Which I still love that film, which I'm pissed off about because now I can't get a Blu-ray of that fucking film. It's gone. I can't get it.
Well, you have connections.
I don't know, man. Well, I'm gonna have to hit up Lyndsey again and be like, You guys got any extra copies over there?
You never know.
She's like,
Hey,
I only
wait-
got mine. I'm like,
Wait till
well, I'll
Kevin
buy it.
goes home and have him send it to you.
You're right. Well, the problem is that it was through Kickstarter, and so they had, of course, at the time they had the whole categories that you can get, like either signed copies or posters.
Yeah.
But apparently, ever since they sold the fuck out of them when it was done, and it's like, damn. So I tried looking all over. I actually sent Dark Rift Entertainment, which is the one that created it or held, produced it or whatever.
Yeah.
So hey, guys, got any extra over there? I'll buy it. I don't give a fuck where you dig it out of. Go in the garbage, whatever. Bring it to me. I'm gonna buy it.
Oh yeah.
So hopefully they get back to me.
Yeah, I'll be picking that one up too if I can find it now. Apparently.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna buy the Book of Monsters because they still have those, obviously. But
Yeah.
yeah, I hope they have.
I actually got that Book of Monsters in to review for free. They were sending me one every month. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys like this movie or heard of it or want to check it out, like and subscribe to the channel. Give us your opinions on it. What do you think about this film? Please go like and subscribe to Mr. Tony the Dead. We will be getting ready to do his pick soon for the Ghouls of Midnight. But thank you all for the support. We'll see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Tally ho.
Have a cool night.